goes without saying that Boyd Huppert has heard thousands of stories in his land of 10,000 stories.
But the one you're about to hear leaves even Boyd astounded. A story of survival after a 9-year-old takes an arrow to the head.
After 2 goals, we switch.
If you're inclined to believe in miracles,
Go, Gus, get it.
come inside. The Deterding family appears to have scored one.
Let's go.
That's Sylvia and Hank at center ice. And at goalie, that's Gus,
2-1.
who was on the family's icy driveway back in March before the concrete was poured, loading some things in his dad's truck, including this youth bow and arrow.
I think he was carrying everything at once, and the arrow we think was like right here, and he then fell right on it.
Parents, Abby and Dave.
I was vacuuming downstairs, Dave was getting dressed, and he came in, in a panic, like, whoa, lots of blood.
He had a very small, cut on his head.
Cleaned up, this is the cut.
At home, he kept saying, Mom, am I dying? Am I gonna leave you? I don't wanna leave you yet. And we're like, Gus, no, we're just getting stitches.
They drove to the Alexandria Hospital, where a cautious doctor sent Gus by helicopter to Minneapolis and Children's Minnesota, no one yet knowing how far the arrow had gone.
That's the path the arrow took, and a little bit of hemorrhage along the way.
See that white dot at the top of Gus's head scan? It's a piece of bone carried by the arrow to where it stopped, before Gus, on his own, pulled the arrow back out.
And that scan, I was like, it literally took my breath away, and I felt like sick to my stomach. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, no, that far, what?
Yet there was Gus in a hospital bed at Children's Minnesota, seemingly fine. So fine, doctors at Children's initially sent him back home. These scans weren't taken until his parents brought him back after Gus started vomiting, and doctors finally saw what they couldn't fathom.
He looked too normal.
Ken Mislanka is the doc who heads Children's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit.
I would say in the 28 years I've been at Children's of Minnesota, I've never seen anything like this.
Again, the arrow went through the middle of Gus's brain.
All the sensory and motor function is all coming through here. It came within 2 centimeters of exiting the skull.
Dr. Mislanka made a model showing the arrow's trajectory.
So the carotid artery is right here. Had it hit that would have been death within minutes.
If he'd seen this model without first knowing the outcome,
I would say that this poor unfortunate 9-year-old young man didn't survive this, based on what I see here.
Yeah, this one was really cool, right?
yet there's Gus
I hope you feel better.
rereading the get well cards from his school.
The best hockey player I know.
It's either fortune at a minimum, or it's heavenly presence of God controlling the direction of that arrow.
Yeah.
For Gus's parents, no question which.
We know it didn't just happen.
This is a miracle.
Yeah.
Family photos of Gus doing normal kid things, all taken since March when he pulled an arrow out of his brain. And the double Gus hit, his first time at bat after returning to his baseball team.
He is as normal as he was beforehand.
If you are inclined to believe in miracles, seldom will you see one clearer.
It is a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Well, Gus spent 6 days at Children's Minnesota. A few weeks later, he was cleared to return to normal activities. His parents haven't pressed Gus to talk about the accident. He seems to prefer not to. The Deterdings say there were other signs supporting their miracle conclusion, including a chaplain friend randomly inviting Gus's dad to lunch and giving him a blessing for peace and strength hours before the accident.
That's incredible, Boyd. I wonder if even Gus didn't realize how far that went in.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he did. And again, they haven't talked to him much about it. When it comes up, he doesn't seem to want to talk about it, which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
And he's 9 years old, and he's just gone through
He seemed
this.
to know something serious was happening, saying, Mom, I don't want to die.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he knew.
He knew a little more than, like, they were thinking this was superficial. Just
Yeah.
just
Looks like it on that one
stitches.
shot.
Right, yeah.
What an incredible family, kid, and doctors. And thank goodness for that doctor in Alexandria that just said, let's just go get this
He had
checked.
the right
And-
instinct, and you know, and at Children's, he looks so normal, like
Right.
functioning, talking,
So there's-
walking normally. It was hard for them to even fathom that it could have gone in that far until they saw the scans, and then everybody's jaw dropped when they
Yeah,
saw
oh
the
and there's
scans.
nothing they think that's a permanent damage. Like everything appears normal.
Now at this point, they think he's going to
Fabulous.
go on to live a normal life.
I see why this story is one you were going to come in tonight.
Right.
And join us on
Well
set.
worth it.
Yeah.
Come every Monday if you can.
Yeah.